Hello, welcome to the first of our afternoon sessions where we're going to be touring some of the TCBL labs and see what's going on in their local areas. Today we are going to be in Ljubljana in Slovenia and hosted by Petra Green. Petra, what's up in Slovenia?
Well, hello. I'm very pleased to be here today in virtual setting as it is. Yes, we will be presenting some of the circular stories from Slovenia. Unfortunately, with the whole COVID situation, some of the speakers that we were planning were not able to make it, but hopefully you'll find our stories interesting nevertheless. We were basically known before as during the TCBL project days as the E3 Place Lab. We are now newly rebranded to Make in Slovenia, exactly for that purpose, to connect the Slovene manufacturing base, clothing and textile manufacturing base, and make it a bit more visible, not just outside of Slovene borders, but in Slovenia as well. We have a long-standing manufacturing tradition that in some ways it has been forgotten almost. And with Make in Slovenia, we're trying to bring back that to the fore, to make it visible and present it as a lively industry as it is. So maybe we should start with our vlogs. This is a new format for us, so excuse us a bit if they're not too polished. These vlogs are basically presentations of some of the companies that we visited, individuals that we visited, projects that we will be presenting. And the first one is going to be Topper. This is a brand, a sportswear brand with very long-standing tradition. Since the Yugoslav days, was one of the biggest manufacturers of sportswear that after the separation went a bit in decline, and it has now a new owner and a new lease of life. So if we can just start with the video. So today you find us in Celje. We are visiting Topper, the brand of legends. Yes. Why of legends? Well, because it's legendary to me as well. I remember as a child, this was one of the premier sportswear brands. I recall seeing a lot of my sports heroes when I was a kid, watching on Olympics or World Championship. They would always, a lot of them would have the Topper brand on their clothing. So you find us today with a new owner, Sara.
When I was young, we were very poor in our family. I am a daughter of political prisoner, and most of the clothes we got from charity and from other kids and people. So as I understood, and I feel I got this opportunity to give something back to the community. I got an idea that I should be very transparent. And my idea was that I create open production. So when you can design your own clothes, and then we are producing for you.
You managed to put together a very rich collection of sports
technology.
Yeah, adopting sports technology, but you have taken over the Topper brand, and you are which was mainly known for ski snow apparel. So do you want to take us through the collection, what you're currently offering in this shop? Your core product, as it was for Topper back in the day, is ski wear apparel.
Tell us more about how you approach, how you design the ski wear. Do you look at vintage, some vintage style for inspiration, or do you look at more contemporary fashion trends?
Yeah, the woman collection is very specific. You need to be fashion, you need to be technical, you need to have good design, good fitting. So in this particular jacket, we are using Japanese material, four-way stretch dermisax, which are very famous in the world. It's a new technology. We use, we got material from Japanese, and then we are producing in Europe. Fortunately, in Slovenia, we don't have so complete production for.
It's very complex. It's very technologically demanding.
Yes. Especially with the lines and
and
four-way stretch.
There's
material.
a lot of detail here, and everything it needs to be performance enhancing. Tell me, what do you actually make in Slovenia? We've seen that some of the really demanding technology, it's not available in Slovenia anymore, and you had to source European based suppliers. But what do you still do in Slovenia? Walk us through that.
We are producing this kind of items.
It's knitwear.
Yes.
Knitwear, lovely.
Then soft shell, which are
so basically classic cut and sew technologies.
Yes.
Yeah. So Sarah, I see here this monitor in the shop. There is a specific reason for it. I understand that you offer to your clients also a level of customization, that they can design their own clothing. Is that correct?
Yes, it's correct.
Yeah. And how does it work?
Let's see.
So here it says, "Izdelaj si sam."
Yes.
Make it your
I
own.
will go to English maybe. It's better.
Oh, it's a configurator.
Yes.
Yeah.
Configurator. And you can choose whatever, if you're a woman, man, kids.
So you have basic shapes that are configurable.
Yes.
And this is women's wear, men's wear, and kids wear.
Yes.
Yeah.
The story behind this is that we would like to see a family with the same color, because they are much more connected.
Connected. So they color match.
Color match. If they want to be blue,
they can all be blue.
Yeah,
okay, so yeah,
so
you can change. What can you change? The base color?
Yes, you can come here and change
the base color.
Yes.
That's green. Okay.
And
you can. Oh, that's a nice color.
We will be
also.
Here. We will be
so
here.
this is, you have like certain details that you can change.
You can change.
So then you can work with contrasts or solids.
Yes. Then you can go to the zip.
Oh, zippers.
Yeah.
Okay. So basically, you can choose your colors of all of the decorative elements of this base shape.
Yes. We can as well extend your
so you can adjust the length of the garment.
Yes, because it's a lot of we saw that on market, or it's a lot of problem with
certain heights. So this is pre-order, and then it gets made. Where does it get made? Where do you make it? Upstairs. Oh, we're gonna see upstairs.
So let's see this open production. Come on. Here we are. We have a lot of fitting here, designs.
The patterns.
Yes.
As I understand, we are here in this visible factory. We are right above the shop, and this is where the configured pieces we saw downstairs actually get made. You have seamstresses that come in and make these items about a couple of times a week. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
It's very, very well equipped, I must say. So what is your vision for this place? We spoke before that you'd like to make it as an open access resource for the local seamstresses.
Yeah, it's a great idea. This is my long-term vision, that I'm giving back to community, so that people who would like to work, mostly they have a job, they qualification self, I don't know, in marketing, and they have skills to saving, and this was my idea, that if they would like to work, they can come after work and here make some products for our clients. So this is the end of this idea, that our clients see how the product is made and who
makes it.
Yes.
And what do you think the benefit is here for the client? Do they value the clothing, the items that they actually have seen what it takes to make more?
For sure, because in the end matters only if you help people will help you, or be good to other, and other will be good to you. So
it's a good for good story.
Yes, it's a good,
as you say. You do
yes.
something good for yourself. You know, you get a piece of clothing that you need, but you also help somebody else by providing them work.
That's it.
That's great. Well, thank you very much for having us, for showing us the place.
Thank you.
It was really eye-opening. I'm really happy that you took over one of these legendary brands. A lot of them were lost in the transition years, and I'm really happy that you've taken this big job on with a very kind of modern, digitally savvy vision to develop for the next generation.
Petra, that's a really cool way to get into a company.
Yes.
We should do more of that. Just informal, an interview style, walk around, tour the facilities, and you really get a feel for what the place is like. It's often very difficult to visit factories and get, inside the situation like that.
So, some of them, the bigger ones, they do not let you onto their production floor at all. But yeah, this format, I was a bit nervous about it in the beginning, but really this was the only way we could get this kind of information across. There was no other option but to do it this way, and it has been quite an eye-opener as format goes. I think it's something that we will keep on doing as well for Make in Slovenia, because I think it's really important to present these companies with the human face, basically the stories behind it. It's not just making a buck, putting something on the market for commercial purposes. There's a lot of the time there's real human passion involved, a very emotional journey as well, and I think that is one of the things that when we're talking about changing consumer perspectives on the goods they acquire and the perceived value of these goods, being clothing, being food, being anything really, this is the dimension that we need to bring in to really change perspective, change attitude.
Cool. Then who's next up?
Well, next up is actually here we're going to have a guest tuning in. It's Betty Metlika, Predilnica. That's another company that with long-standing tradition was one of the biggest companies in Slovenia. They were They were a vertical company, so they made their own yarns. They made their own materials. all the way to the final product, and they covered the whole spectrum from children's wear to women's menswear. So I'm very happy that they were able to join us. Hello, Maya.
Hi, hello.
Hello. So I gave just a little glimpse on what Beti used to be.
Yes.
So do you want to tell us a bit more about the history today?
Yeah, thank you, Petra, for the introduction. It's true, Beti dates back to 1956. And during the times of Yugoslavia, Beti was really a big company, very big for the region. We are located in a small town of Metlika, located at the Croatian border. And if you can imagine, the town Metlika has around 3,000 inhabitants, whereas Beti at its in the past, in the 80s, Beti had around 2,000 employees. So really huge for this region. Well, unfortunately, not all parts of the company managed to adjust to the changes in textile and to the when we lost the Yugoslav market. So after that, we focused solely on the yarn production. Actually, at the moment, Beti is, as far as we know, we are the biggest, or for sure the best dye house for this type of yarn. That's polyamide and polyester yarn. Beti is a medium-sized company. So today we have around 150 people working in the company. And what is important that we export. We actually sell 95% of our production. So we are selling all over Europe. But half of the production goes to places like United States, Israel, Russia, Belarus. So, yeah. Should I continue? Yeah, or you have more questions?
Well, the thing is, you will be also later on in one of the jam sessions on Wednesday, I think.
Yeah.
You will be presenting an innovation. Should we just give a little a teaser, a taste of what's to come?
Sure. Okay. Let's do it. So we like to think of Beti as a company that went from tradition to innovation, and not just innovation to sustainability. And in the last few years, we really strengthened our R&D department, because we see this is a crucial point if you want to stay competitive in today's world. So let's say like this, of course, we are focusing on sustainable yarns. We are testing, dyeing, and different types of recycled or bio-based materials. And the latest innovation, which we are really proud of, is dye care. Dye care is yarn made, so for the basic material, we used recycled polyester, so made from the recycled PET bottles. But what's even more important, that we optimized significantly our dyeing process, so that we saved 51% water and 34% CO2 emissions. So it's a product that we call,
we like to think of dye care as a product that gives sustainability without a compromise, because at the same time, with all these savings and environmental factors, at the same time, the end customer can use this product within the same garments he did in the past. So we did manage to keep the same level of quality.
Great. Should we just run the little video, presentation video? Well, that's great, and we get to see a little bit of the factory.
Yeah, also.
yeah, because I visited it last year, I think, or was it 2 years ago even?
Yeah,
yeah, pre-corona, and it's an amazing factory. Really, I really enjoyed myself, and it's a privilege actually to see what goes into something as simple as a thin yarn. Yeah. And one of the things that I was most impressed was with the vivacity of color, all the fluorescence. Really, that was quite interesting to see. So what's the next step for you?
Well, at this point, I would mention two more things. One is that, we are working on exciting new products. We are investing, or let's say doing a lot of research in the area of smart textiles and how to make some technical advanced yarns that can make our lives easier. But here we are still really at the development stage. We are working with some partners from Germany, and we applied for a Eureka project. So it's a bit international project going on, which will last for 1 more year and a half. And what's also, I think, very important for us as a company, during the last year when it was, lockdowns, really stressful and unexpected situation, the whole team, we sat together and we made, for us, or let's say for the company, a new sustainable business strategy, where we have foreseen different directions where we want to go in the future with the sustainability. And what I think it's important that as sustainability, we don't just speak about environment, we speak also about the local environment, the people working in Beti, how we connect to other institutions. And so really a broad view of sustainability, circularity, and this is, let's say, why we also participate in the TCBL.
Great. This kind of ties in with the talk that's in the morning. that really the approach towards greater circularity in fashion is it has to be holistic, and it does have a lot of layers and it's quite complex. But the key is connecting and collaborating and sharing experiences and best practices. Amazing. Thank you very much for tuning in. And hello, Jessie. What do you say about that? Was interesting, wasn't it?
That was really interesting because it shows all the dimensions of how, as you were saying, a thin thread of yarn can how we can work on making it more circular. And this connects, as we were saying before with Maya, but we'll pick up again on the jam with this. This connects with the work that's going on in one of the projects that TCBL is involved in right now, called Hereware, where they're working where we're working on biopolymers, and bio-based fibers and so on and so forth, and looking for companies external to the project consortium to experiment together with some of these new things and accelerate the uptake, because we need these things to move fast towards the market. Betsy sounds like a perfect partner for the research.
I think you will make a book.
Yeah.
Great. So let's move on to the next little vlog. Something a bit different, but it's fashion. It is fashion in the true sense.
Top is here in Ljubljana, the Tobačna visiting one of the most commercially successful, sustainable brands, Mila Verd, and we are at the so-called Tobačna Tovarna, the tobacco factory. It used to be one of the biggest tobacco factories in Europe, and nowadays it houses a lot of different businesses, startups. It's quite a creative place. So we're waiting for our host to arrive and show us around. Hello Tina, thank you for having us today. We are inside the old Tobačna, the tobacco factory, and Tina is going to take us now to her little studio to show us the brand. So we're here now in Mila Verd Ljubljana studio. You do have another unit in Kočevje.
Exactly. Basically, our company is located in Kočevje. We have our offices there, but we also open this little showroom for our customers in Ljubljana.
Because most customers, where do your customers come from? Mainly.
At the moment, mainly Germany and United States.
So as I mentioned, Mila Verd is the one of the Slovenes. I think you are the most commercially successful, sustainable brand who predominantly does features in foreign markets. But tell us a bit about your beginnings, because you're not a designer, are you?
Yes, fashion has always been a passion of mine. Since I was a little girl, basically, I wanted to create my own clothing, so I consulted my grandmother, who was, let's say, a master of tailoring, and also some local seamstresses to help me carry out my own designs. So I had like my first let's say a little fashion collection already when I was in primary school.
Yes. Interesting.
So yeah, it was just a few pieces. But basically that's how I started. Later on I took basically quite a different path. I studied economics, and then I went to live abroad for some time, to the Netherlands and to Sweden, where I did my master's degree. But I've always had this desire to have my own brand, to give me an opportunity to be creative and to be connected to fashion. So basically that's how it all started.
And how did the sustainability factor come in?
I have to say that my environment has always been, let's say, encouraging in that way. And I'm also a perfectionist for things that are important to me, so I've seen this as the only, like, a logical step, you know, to use materials of the highest quality, to have the least impact on the environment as possible. I mean, we know that you cannot be 100% sustainable, but it doesn't, I mean, the way everyone works, but at least we try, and we always aim to find better ways of making our own, doing things, design our things, select fabrics, etc.
So how did you start? You started with a small collection when you were like in high school, but when you started your business, what was your core product? What did you concentrate on, and the materials that you use?
Yes, we started just with a few pieces. Was a simple basic t-shirt, some skirt, some shirt dresses. They are still our best sellers, I have to say, besides knitwear. So there are designs that are still relevant after, let's say, 5-6 years already. But basically, that was the issue back then, and even now that, for example, I started designing a new collection, I had it already, let's say, in mind, and I then went to some fabric fairs, sourcing for sustainable fabrics, but because I couldn't find what I was looking for that particular collection, so I needed to really basically change everything and starting with something that it was possible.
Yeah, what was available.
What was
because
available.
you started at a time that really sustainability in fashion wasn't
the trend.
Wasn't a trend at all. So you were kind of like carving the way, even in Slovene terms and even in international terms, really. So what kind of fabrics were available at the time you found?
The easiest was to basically source for organic cotton fabrics. I think also now, if there is a selection, organic cotton is the easiest to find, I would say. But it wasn't so much a problem about, let's say, availability of the fabrics. It was more an issue that we were and still are a small brand. So basically, if you are a brand that purchases, I don't know, 2,000 meters per color, etc., even 5-6 years ago was a lot of things possible, you know, not with every producer, because for GOTS certificates, fabrics with this certificate, they even need to have it separately, let's say a production for conventional cotton, and not every producer is capable of doing that, and of course not everyone has a certificate,
so the challenge are to meet the minimal quantities required.
Exactly. I mean, it's getting easier for us. There are more sustainable options on the market, of course, than 5-6 years ago. But also we are purchasing more. Let's say we're still a small brand. Our business model is basically that we do everything made to order, and this enables us to do also custom fit orders, etc.
And you produce in Slovenia as well?
Yeah, all production is
Slovene-based.
Slovene-based, exactly. I work with two, let's say, garment producers. One knitwear producer, and one lady that's actually helping us crafting accessories, bags, belts.
Oh, that as well. So from that small collection you have extended to knitwear, which is particularly hard to as a small brand to access, to actually put on the market. As I look through your collection online as well, online sales, this is an important part of your overall strategy.
Yes, we basically started only online. Then we started to attend some fashion fairs as well, where we wanted to approach, let's say, different buyers like stockists, wholesalers. But luckily, also before epidemic started, we started to invest more in our online channels. So. At that time, our team went through some trainings, etc. And we were lucky enough to do this, like November 2019, before it started. So we were quite well prepared, because then later on, basically this wholesale part was quite affected by that, because our stores, especially we had the most stores around Germany,
they were closed.
All closed. So then
the online was
saving
race, and it seems like you're very fortunate with timing to be in the right place, prepared at the right time. So
sometimes I had a feeling we started a bit too early, because it was hard at that time,
at the beginning. But then at the right time, you were big enough and prepared enough, and also the collection. As I was looking at it, you have pieces that let's say are not corona affected in a way. I see your collection as modern day comfortable workwear, very minimalistic, practical pieces that, as you are wearing yourself, you can look stylish and comfortable from the comfort of your couch. Well, great. Thank you very much, Tina, for this presentation. Amazing story. Really amazing way of working. The whole story about being in the right place at the right time, and the way you made these connections that have brought you today to, as I said, one of the most successful, sustainable and PETA certified brands in Europe, I would say, independent brands in Europe. Well done, and again, thank you for having us, and good luck.
Thank you so much for coming. Your kind words, it was really nice talking to you.
Very, very, as she said, she's a perfectionist and passionate about what she does, and it's great to see a brand, a young brand that is doing so well, not just in the domestic market, but in the European market. So that's quite, I won't say a unique story in Slovenia, but definitely one of the few.
Well, we need more brands like that. We were talking this morning about the long tail, about the 170,000 companies, mostly SMEs in the industry, and these are the ones that we need to champion and connect. I was thinking, as she was talking, about the source book and circular fashion platforms that can help her with the sourcing of the short runs. But she does say it's getting easier. But that's really one of our big objectives, is to give visibility to these people, bring them together, and
help them overcome such hurdles as is sourcing materials. Definitely. So the third story is a bit of a mash. It's about Slovenska postelja and Kalmo. Slovenska postelja, meaning Slovene bed, they manufacture beds and bedding products, and they have recently opened a repair shop. So if we could have the video.
Today we are in Popravljalnica, which means repair shop of the company Slovenska postelja, which means Slovene bed. This company has been making beds and bed linen and toppers since 1970, and they're well known for their quality and utilizing natural materials
like cotton, wool, of course, a lot of wool. They utilize mainly Slovene wool, and other materials such as sisal and jute. This popravljalnica has been opened about 2 weeks ago, and it's like an open plan space. They are planning to utilize it a little bit as a retail space, but mainly for the passers-by to be able to view the processes of making certain pieces of bed linen, and to repair products that their customer brings. And also another thing that's interesting is that they are making certain products out of leftovers, production leftovers, like this cozy slippers. Slovenska Postelja has opened its doors to the popravljalnica, the repair shop, to other companies and individuals as well. So one of the projects that we have approached them with, and we are going to be realizing here, is back to back. This is a concept of utilizing discarded protection clothing like uniforms, harvesting the material, and making practical objects out of them, mainly bags, hence the name back to back. So what we do is we take any usable pieces of material that are relatively clean, usually the bags, out of these uniforms, these work clothes, and we actually take zippers, anything that is utilizable, and we then concept and design and make bags that can be additionally branded later on. One of the ways we intend to brand the bags that were made out of harvested, discarded material, discarded uniforms, is with embroidered patches. This is a great way to brand or to decorate or to repair an item that has been damaged.
Hello, July 12th, Thursday. I will do my very best to assist you in any way I can. Let's do our best.
Wow. Well, I think the machines got the date a bit wrong, but that's the next level, a talking sewing machine. This is Tatiana. She works alone in this popravljalnica or repair shop. It's quite a small space, obviously, with the retail section ones being filled. There isn't that much space for to put a lot of machines, but quite enough to put the machines in that are required to make certain products in the Slovenska Postelja collection. Most of these are pillows, pillow covers, and before mentioned slippers. So the machines are arranged in such a way that Tatiana requires a minimum amount of movement in between different production phases.
Thank you for your hard work.
And our next stop is Calmo, the company that produces patches. We're visiting Calmo today. Carmen couldn't be with us, so we have her husband, Dejan, that's going to tell us a few things about the company. Just a few words about when did you start? I understand this is a family business.
Mm-hmm. Yes, my mother started. It's about 30 years.
30 years
40
ago.
years now, yes.
And in this space?
No,
here?
this is our home.
Mm-hmm.
We were in the house nearby.
Mm-hmm.
But the situation of Yugoslavia,
Yeah.
we must leave, sold out 2 machines like
you have
this
to
one.
sell that, yeah.
Yes, we have 3 machines, so we have to sold it,
So, yeah.
sell it, and in the end we must every machines must come here at home.
Oh yeah, so you had a bigger, like a factory
Yes,
space.
we must leave because of the situation.
Yeah, yeah. And so all of the production is done here in this space.
Yes.
But you are really, when it comes to embroidery, one of the bigger companies here in Slovenia. You have quite important contracts with the police and
Yes,
the army
yes.
and so forth. So it's interesting to see that with this particular type of textile business, with the embroidery, you don't really need much space in order to turn out quite significant quantities. So I see patches are gaining popularity. A lot of the time we see branded products with printed logos, but now more and more I notice that patches are being utilized, especially some like this that actually look like pieces, like artwork. How do you find there is an increase in demand for such products?
At the end of the year.
At the end of the year,
Yes.
as gifts,
Yes.
as corporate gifts as well. But also designers, young designers, I think they are
Yes,
approaching
but not
you.
too much
Not too much.
yet.
Yet. No, it's the good thing about these embroidered patches is that you can make a big quantity and you have it on stock, and then you can apply it to different products as and when you need, like on t-shirts, bags, caps, and so forth. You can you can embroider directly, of course, onto
Yes, of
items,
course.
but you can also kind of have stock patches that you
Yes,
that you use
like this one.
for years, even if necessary. So I see that you manufacture, you can produce a lot of embroideries and emblems and patches in one time. But do you do custom orders as well?
Yes, of course. And customer want to personalize.
Yeah.
Yes, on every textile, every different textile,
Yeah.
like caps or t-shirt or
socks even.
yeah.
So you do individual orders.
Yes.
As well, and there is no limitation,
No,
because I know with printing it's the setup and everything, it's
And colors.
yeah, in the colors, mixing of colors, that's quite impossible. But that's one of the benefits of utilizing embroidery. And where you think that you have set colors because you are limited by the colors of threads, if you look here, you notice that there is a possibility of mixing colors really with stitching. So you can actually, on a larger piece, you can make a shading and mix colors and get quite a rich palette of colors.
Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing. Well, thank you very much for having us. I certainly got a lot of ideas how I would be using patches, a lot of them on old jackets that I've got, that's got holes. This is a perfect way to really mask any blemishes. So yeah, thank you for that.
Thank you.
Yes, patches. Patches are a way of.
That guy was really cool.
Sorry.
Makes you want to think some patches up. That was really neat.
Well, yeah, you know, I have one of those denim jackets that needs zhuzhing up a little bit.
It can be useful for upcycling, because you can take things and add little things like that also to repair. And that repair shop was really interesting. That was really interesting.
Well, yes, it's good. I mean, we would really like to see a network of such repair shops where companies open a facility that is easily accessible to service their own clients, but that they open it to the wider public, and a network of such workshops, labs, would make for a dispersed lab, let's say. And as I was mentioning, one of the projects that we are starting in that repair shop lab is back to back. That it's exactly that. It's an upcycling into a product which is a practical product that could be also a merchandise used as a type of merch. That can be either branded or decorated with patches, and utilizing patches as ways of disguising blemishes in the fabric itself that it's being used from out of discarded workwear. So that's why we kind of joined the two stories together as an upcycling story.
Oh, that's neat. But that makes me think a little bit, and going back to that idea of the sort of holistic view of sustainability that we were picking up again from this morning. Tell me a little more about the work that you do together with Lenka, who unfortunately is not with us today on video, but the work with the disabled, the work with the local communities, and I remember seeing some of the fantastic work she was doing to sort of, creating job opportunities in an extremely creative way. What's been going on recently on that front?
Yeah, well, as that is actually at the core of everything we do across different industries. It's the social inclusivity and mainly the inclusivity of including people with disabilities in the work processes, and the more classic industries such as the clothing industry, the food industry, paper industry, I don't know. These are the ideal polygons in a way, ideal environments where people with disabilities can be included in these processes. So, for instance, when it comes to this, the back-to-back project, there is the process of selection of the discarded clothes that can be done, and harvesting that can be done with people that are in, how should I put, not with disabilities, but they have like diminished capacities, let's say in a way. Also, one of the experiences that you had, I think you were served by a person that was with a disability, with hearing, or
I remember very clearly that Lenka was working with people that had impaired hearing, in very creative ways. Not so much the question of inclusion, but discovering their particular abilities and being able to sort of build a service offer around that. And the textile and clothing industry lends itself particularly well to that, because it's the kind of thing where different abilities can come forward. And Lenka is just so good at spotting that and being able to build these opportunities around people's abilities.
Well, the company, Lenka's company, is a huge employer of people with disabilities, mainly with hearing impaired. I couldn't think of the word. Sorry for it. So we work with girls who are graphic designers and IT engineer. Also, has this, a lot of the people within the company are people with disabilities, but they compensate in other areas beautifully. So there is no impediment really to including a wider range of the public in the processes.
Yeah, and that's really an important part of social sustainability, I think. Absolutely. So who's up next then?
Yeah.
I hope you have more video.
One more video, just one more video. It's a project that we started. It's a self-initiated project, let's say. When you talk about it's the essence of making Slovenia and what we're trying to achieve, we thought it's best explained through a product and through a story. So this is a video that we did for the Kickstarter campaign for our for Good bikini, and that I am starring in, unfortunately.
Oh, hello. What? Okay, I'm coming. What? Are you looking at my multitasking active underwear? Well, it saves my time, saves the planet, and it can definitely save you. How good is that? Welcome to Ljubljana, a city only a stone throw away from one of the busiest shopping districts in Europe. Here we make our active underwear, from yarn to product, with minimal impact to the environment. And can you believe it? The excess energy created during the process is used to heat a nearby pool. How good is that? The material we use is sustainable, made out of discarded fishing nets. But how good are we in making the garments? Forget mass production. Materials flying from one end of the world to the other, workers in inhumane conditions, barely earning a living. No overproduction, no overstock, and no end-of-season sales. Made by the expert hands of Vida in only quantities ordered. And if we exceed our goal, we buy another machine and employ another Vida. Vida, you like working with me, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
My name is Petra Grmek Green, swimwear and lingerie designer with over 20 years experience. You can pledge with confidence.
Well, with that,
That's a pretty cool idea. Getting back to some of Becky's ideas about, things things that have several lives. No, that's your idea,
yes,
right?
Yeah. Making your clothes work for you, work hard for you.
Well, that's
Multitasking.
great. And that's an example of your. I won't ask you about your Kickstarter campaign. We won't plug it, but I think
We funded, yes.
Oh, great! Fantastic.
Was funded, but yeah, it's an example of our ethos, really, the drive behind what we do, which is, as we were saying before, it's the inclusivity and raising the employability of people that require jobs. Sorry.
Yeah. Well, I think that really nicely sums up your view of what Slovenia is and can do in a sustainable fashion world. Thank you so much for this tour. These videos have been really exciting and interesting, and we'll look forward to seeing more of your people in the coming years. And also, I think in the jam session we've got Betty, right? That will be on Thursday, November 23rd, so we can come back and continue this discussion. But for now, Petra, thank you, and great to collaborating with you over these years. Thank you.
Thank you.